Well, Kenneth, we're going to look at an interesting physical property today, and that physical property, to demonstrate it, we're going to use sand.
Sand.
Just start out with some plain sand. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour some sand into a beaker of water. Now, we'll add a little bit more here. I just want you to scoop some of that sand out for me and tell me what you can observe about the sand. Might need to turn it up to get it out.
Yeah.
But just scoop you some out. You can put it in your hand when you get it out. And tell me what you observe about it. Go ahead, get that in your hand there. So what can you observe about that sand?
It's just wet.
It's wet sand, right?
Yes.
And if you go to the beach and you pick up a handful of sand out of the water, it's going to feel about like that, right?
Yeah.
Go to a creek or something where you've got a sand bed in it, it's going to feel about like that sand. And if you want to just rinse your hand off over there, we're going to get some more sand now. Rinse our spoon while you're doing it. All right, so now we've got a bigger beaker, and I've got some bottles with some colored sand, and it looks pretty normal except for the color of it, right?
Yes.
But it's actually got another physical property that's really interesting, and I'm going to pour some of this sand in. Actually, I'll let you pour a little bit. And just kind of, don't dump the whole bottle, but just kind of pour a little bit out and just watch as it goes into the water and see if it looks any different.
Stays on the top.
Well, a lot of it's staying on the top, but look at it when it falls.
When it falls, it like turns into a solid.
Well, it almost looks like it's all one solid mass of sand, doesn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't look like just the wet sand on the bottom. And if you want to add a little bit more, you can. We'll try to get some of it out here in just a minute. That'll be good. All right, so now scoop some of that out. And let's see if it looks a little bit different. So what happens as it comes out?
It turned back to regular sand.
Yeah, it looks like just regular sand again. See, let me borrow that spoon just a minute. I'm going to scoop some out on the table and just sort of see what you can see about it here. Try to get that water out of there, but what do you notice?
It's not wet.
It's dry, right? So that's weird. Sand doesn't normally do that, does it?
No.
And what I'll do, if you want to add some other colors?
Yeah.
All right.
Blue.
These have that same property, and we'll talk about what that property is in just a minute. But go ahead, you can add a little blue, add a little yellow if you want to.
Do blue.
And it's catching some of the red on the way down.
Yeah.
Want to add some yellow too? But it's kind of like it's just piling up together, and it looks like one solid object, but it's really, you pull it back out, it turns back into dry sand. All right, so you want to scoop some more of that out?
Yes.
And just watch it. As soon as it comes above the surface of the water, it's like a change takes place in that sand. It's like you can't even pick it up anymore. It's falling off. It's dry sand. And if you want to maybe stir some of that around, if you want to scoop some of that out, but while it's in there, it's weird, right? It's kind of almost hard to describe what's happening to it. But the reason for that, this is what's called hydrophobic sand. And basically what that means, it means it can't absorb water. It repels the water away from it. And even this that's floating on the top, you can feel it, and it's dry. You know, the water's not really sticking to it. And what they do with this, it's regular sand, but they coat it with something that's going to repel water, kind of like a lot of people will spray like Scotch Guard on their couch cushions and their carpet to keep stains off. And then you can spill a drink on the couch, spill a drink on the carpet, and just like the water
just slides off.
Yeah, slides off of this, it'll do that to your cushions. And they sell they sell it as like magic sand, space sand. They have some different names for it. And this is some that I bought.
It's all ripped off.
Well, you actually, though, the thing is, you can go out and you can buy it. You can actually make it at home. If you get a can of that Scotch Guard, you can spread some sand out in the pan, spray it real good with the Scotch Guard. It'll repel water just like this. But this is, again, that property. It's a physical property of being hydrophobic, where it will repel the water. But again, you drop it in, it just floats on the top, or it sinks down to the bottom, but it keeps the water away. So even though it's on the bottom, and if you want to reach down in there and kind of feel it on the bottom, it's still going to feel when you touch it. If you really squeeze it, it's going to feel kind of dry in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's really just a weird thing, but it's a really cool, really neat physical property to observe and to demonstrate.
It's like tinfoil with like a little shine on
It kind of is. And do you have any idea, like the shininess that you see on there? Do you have any idea what that is?
The stuff that repels water?
Well, it kind of is. It's like the water kind of bubbling around it. It's almost like it's inside of it. It's not really, but it's almost like it's inside a bubble. So you're seeing that water actually repelling away from it down there in the bottom of the liquid. But it's like while it's down there, you can kind of squish it together and mold it even a little bit. But then again, as soon as you pull it up, turns back to regular dry sand again. So a neat example of that physical property of being a hydrophobic substance, repelling water.
Amazing.